To support this podcast, go to positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. Once again, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Thank you and enjoy the program. Jay here, positivesarcasm.com, recorded here from the Spare Parts Studio alongside New Hampshire's beautiful and rather warm seacoast. I got my tan going. Recorded here from New Hampshire's beautiful seacoast for entertainment purposes only. Like, subscribe, share, donate, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amounts appreciated. Check out my website, positivesarcasm.com. You can hit me up on Instagram at @positive_sarcasm. You can contact me directly through my website. All your questions, concerns, or comments, just go to the contact section of my page, positivesarcasm.com, or you can email me directly, positivesarcasm@outlook.com. It's a numbers episode, and we all know how good I am with numbers. Or not. I'm getting better, though. It's by practice. Practice makes perfect, right? Right. Okay. So, let's just play a scenario here. You are, I don't know, let's say, so if the average male is about between 170 to 180 pounds, and the average woman is between 130 to 145 pounds. Let's just say you're 40 pounds overweight. Let's do that. 40 to 50 pounds overweight, which means if you're the average male, now you're up in the 220s to 230s, which not good. We're talking about, your normal heights. And if you're a woman, oh boy, that means you're going to be up towards like 175 to 190 pounds, which is no bueno, because now we're going to start talking about type 2 diabetes. We're going to be talking about blood clots. We're going to be talking about depression, anxiety. We're going to be talking about there are going to be all kinds of issues that I am not qualified to help you with, because these are issues that you should have never had to have approached to begin with, because you let yourself run away with the foolishness that you have now become. And I've talked about this a little bit in the past. I've talked about, the financials of it, and then I've done episodes about the health and wellness of it. And now I'm going to combine the two, because let's face it, people are fatter than ever and broker than ever. So hospital bills going up, premiums going up, gas prices are up. They're double what I paid 3 months ago. So now we've got to compare. Now we've got to put the two together here. Okay, so we got to put the two together, because now it's crunch time. All right, you have to, for the sake of your financial future and your health and wellness future, you've got to step it up, and now's the time. And there's a bunch of things that I want to show to you. And this isn't, here's the thing, is these are real numbers based off actual statistical data and actual looking this stuff up and calculating it with simple numbers and stuff like that. And this is reality. If you do these things, the vast majority of people will see a very noticeable difference over the course of months and the year. And we'll talk about 1 year, but imagine what you could do in 2. But we got to start with the basics here. What could you accomplish in 1 month? What could you accomplish in 6 months? And what could you accomplish in 1 year financially and physically? Because we don't want to get you to that. Nobody wants to see you. Nobody really. Unless you really despise the person, you don't really want to see fat people walking around for the most part. Unless they're really good at like making pizza or carbonara or whatever. For the record, I'm not a huge fan of carbonara, but I think it's because it's never really been made properly for me. But we'll stay there here. Okay, so the average person, like I said, that's the average weight. If you want to see a normal girl weighs between 125 to 140 pounds. Now there could be muscular features, or they're lean, their height. But once they're at 180, there's a problem. There's a real problem here. That's 40 pounds of weight. Legit 40 pounds. If they're at 140, 141 pounds, all of a sudden they're 181, they're out of shape. They're in trouble. Because now they're going to start heading into type 2 territory. All right. A man, 230 pounds, back problems, dating issues. There's a lot of problems there too. We got to stop that. And we can do it in a year. We can solve a lot of these problems in a year, and we can save you a lot of money in the year. So let's attack both. And we'll start off with the morning. So we'll start off with the basic morning principles. What do you see in the morning? You wake up, you're blurry-eyed from whatever reason. You either go into the kitchen to make yourself coffee, which is the best approach, or you on your way to work, you grab a coffee. Okay. Now, let me look this up. Average American morning coffee to go. A morning coffee to go. Let's see if there's statistics on this. 3 cups of coffee in a day. Okay, most are less free. Okay. While average American coffee drinkers consume about 3 cups per day, only 20% consume takeaway to go daily. So 20%. So, which is actually not too bad. But those 20%, okay. So if you are one of those just off the bat, because I don't want to dive into it too much. I'm not going to turn this into a fucking calculus episode. But if you're going to talk about, if you're one of those 20%ers, at the end of the day, all right, I see lines of cars around the blocks at your local Starbucks and at your local Dunkin' Donuts. All right, 2 of the largest coffee chains in the United States. And your average cup of coffee generally is around like $4 to $5. And your average caloric intake is around 100 to 150 calories. Now, let's ignore the extremes here. The fucking unicorn frappuccinos and the giant iced lattes, that's more than a whole meal in itself. We have to ignore that. We got to come near the center because like the people who take in 500 calorie coffees every single morning, they're the same people that I can't convince them otherwise. Unless they are willing to see the light of day, these are not the people I'm going to talk about. Because I'm sorry. There's people who you just can't, they're never going to come to the center. They're not going to listen to you. You can't have a conversation with them. There's many people that are just lost causes. However, if they take something away from this episode, or maybe they are willing to see the light, it would be quite a shock to them to know that some of the things that they're ordering are literally marching them to their own deaths. Now, on top of that, financially, you're spending between $3 and $7. And you're also, while you're there, can I get a breakfast sandwich? And now we're here. Now we're at like an 800 calorie breakfast, which is unnecessary. Coffee, vasoconstriction, fat, sugar, carbs, all processed dog shit too, by the way. Not the coffee. The coffee is, processed by, roasting it and then grinding it. That's fine. That's part of the process. The only way you're going to drink coffee, really. But, like, the processed bagel, the hash browns, the fucking, the bagel bites, and then the sugar and all the cream that goes into that, or whatever, soy, whatever, goes into that. You're now up shit's creek. But let's like I said, that's like the deep end stuff. Let me get back to here. So that's, if you are one of those average consumers, we got to figure out if you're going to spend $5 on coffee every day. Okay. You're going to spend $5 on coffee every day and 500 calories. Well, we've got to reduce that. We've got to reduce that significantly. How do we start off your morning? Well, before we even get to the coffee, and don't talk to me about fucking coffee withdrawals. I know first off, myself, and I know a lovely woman who, an absolute lovely woman who made this American sign for me, the PS flag. Lovely woman. And she withdrew from coffee, and she had maybe a week of withdrawals, and she's felt fine ever since. But that's it. she's off coffee. I kicked coffee early in the mornings. Like, I don't have coffee in the morning anymore. Now, that was for health reasons. It was part of my whole health episode. But I was making it at home. So if you stop going out to get coffee and start making it at home, you're going to save yourself $5 a week. All right, so that's $5 a week times 4 weeks. No, $5 a day. I'm sorry. So that's $5 a week times 5. So that's 5 times 5. If you're going to work 5 days a week, that's $25 times 4. That's $100 times 12. It's $1,200 a year. All right, $1,200 a year will buy you, you can get some stock in NVIDIA. You can buy ETFs, index funds. You can buy growth. You can buy, Symbiotic or the JEPQ, which is an index fund, an ETF that pays you every single month, and you can reinvest it. But that's $1,200. You could start with that $1,200 that you're no longer spending because everything is so goddamn expensive. You could take that money, put that into the market, or you could put it into a vacation account or a weekend getaway account or what have you, and that could be your emergency fund account. Either way, you'll have $1,200 by the end of the year that you either pay towards a credit card or now you've got a fund. You've got something. You're actually worth something as a human being. Just by kicking the coffee, just by not buying coffee 5 days a week, you are now ridding yourself of the $1,200 debt on top of that. Now, if you take your coffee and you, instead of that bullshitachino that's 110 calories with the cream and the sugar, you can instead go with like a tablespoon or two, at the most a tablespoon or two of Chobani's real cream. Chobani's real cream, first of all, tastes fantastic, and in a modest cup of coffee makes all the difference. Not everything's got to be supercharged with sweetness. I think Christoph Waltz, he just said that on a video I just saw about like us Americans, just everything is just over exaggerated with just sweetness and gluttony and piling on and layers, where the subtleties are where most of the enjoyment comes from. That instant gratification of getting that chocolate molten lava cheesecake with fucking French bread stuffing or whatever, that's got to stop. That's the instant gratification of gluttony. That has to end. So if you can stop buying your coffee and make some at home, which is easy, by the way. Don't kid yourself. It is easy. A kettle costs you an electric kettle costs you $30 on like eBay. A good one too. And you can drop it down from 110 calories, which is just a little bit under like a small bag of trail mix, to now like 25 calories. So that's a huge difference. So essentially, you could drop around 100 calories a day. So you save yourself $1,200 a year, and then if you save yourself 100 calories a day times, 7 days a week if you're having coffee, that's 700 calories a week, times 4 is 2,800 calories a month, times 12 is 33,600 calories. Now, if you divide that by the average pound of body fat, I've said this before, but it has kind of been modified and updated a little bit. Your average body fat is around, I'd say, from numbers I've seen, a rough draft, 3,750 calories. 1 actual pound of lipid body fat, the actual like chunk, actual body fat is around a average 4,000 calories, 3,750 calories, up to almost 4,500 calories. And if you divide that, now I have the number here, 33,600. This is from the 1 cup of coffee over 7 days a week by making it at home, so you know the sourcing of it, and changing out what's in it with Chobani cream. Chobani cream is delightful, and it comes with so many flavors. You got your pumpkin spice, you've got your coconut, you've got your cookie dough, you've got your hazelnut, you've got your vanilla, you got your sweet cream, you got your regular, you've got there's one that's really, really good. I can't remember it off the top of my head. But they got many, many different flavors. They got the peppermint. But you can look at it, it's like, okay, 1 tablespoon is 25 calories. You put that in an 8 to 10 ounces of coffee. It's like, okay, a little bit of sweet. You got your perk, 25 calories. So if you're going to do, you've just saved yourself. Like I said, you're not spending that $5 a day on 110 to 125 calorie drink every week. So now you minus that 100 calories, you just saved yourself 33,600. If your average body fat in calories that you need to get rid of is between 3,750 and 4,400, if you divide this 33,000 by 4,000 calories. Oops, let me back up there. Sorry. Is there a backspace button? There we go. 4,000 calories. Let me put this up on the screen so you fucks can see everything. Display capture. Boom. There we go. All right. It equals 8.4. Now, what's that number? That is 8.4 pounds of body fat you could burn just by making a change to your daily coffee. To your daily coffee, 8.4 pounds. 8 pounds of body fat is a huge difference. That's a significant difference. If you are a girl who's about like 5'5", 5'6", and you're around like 140 pounds, between 135 and 140, 8.4 pounds, that's going to make a lot of difference. You're at 140. If you're at 148, people are going to see that. Chicks are going to see that. Chicks on chicks, they're going to see that. If you want to burn that, this is just from the coffee over 1 year. 8.4. It's pretty good. You lose 8.5 pounds in a year of solid body fat that is 100% noticeable. So we start with the simple, and that's the thing. We've now saved you over 1 year. So if you divide that by 12 months, so let's see, 8.4 pounds. Yeah, 8.4. Yeah, we'll do 8.4 divided by 12. So that's 0.7 pounds a month. But this is solid body fat. This is with keeping the vast majority of your skeletal muscle, your water retention. First of all, oh yeah, I also mentioned the average. Okay, water. We got to talk about that. But if you're dropping just in coffee weight, just in coffee fat. If you like drinking your coffee black, we're, like I said, two different extremes here. Two different extremes. Your morning coffee, if it's black, okay, there's the extreme. If you're the unicorn frappuccino person, that's the other extreme. I'm not worried about you. I'm not worried about you, Mr. Black Coffee Drinker. And I don't care about you, Mr. Frappuccino Drinker. We're not talking about that. Trying to get to the people that I can save. Trying to save the ones I can save. Reach the ones that matter the most. The actual workhorse of this economy. 0.7 pounds. That's not bad. That's not bad. This is, like I said, this is just in getting rid of the shit coffee. This is just in the coffee. 8 pounds over a year just in coffee. And you still get to drink coffee every single day. Okay? So, that's in one. There's that. So you saved yourself $1,200, and we've saved yourself almost a pound of body fat per month. So we have that. Here's another critical factor of the mornings. Okay, critical factor. Now, your average caloric burn is between 40 and 80 calories, but we're not going to mention that. We're not going to mention that because obviously we have to eat during the day. We do all kinds of stuff. Our body movement changes. Obviously, the worst form of body type is the solitary. If you're just sitting, not doing anything, that's obviously you're going to burn more towards 40 than you are towards 80. But if you're sitting all day, yeah, you just turn to a pound of Jello, a pile of Jello. I do like Jello, by the way. What we need to do is change up that routine. So if you are, and look, I don't want to hear fucking excuses of people. I got kids. I got this. I got that. It's like, hey, look, you put yourself in that position. It's your responsibility to get it out of it. But we're like I said, I'm here to save. I can save the ones I can. All right. Because right now the obesity rate in this country is out of control. It's like between 40 and 60% of a bunch of fucking juggalos. We got to fix that. We got to fix that. We can fix that. You can fix that. So if we start by doing this, if you just saved yourself 100 calories in the morning, how else can we pump up the jam in the morning? Well, your average 30-minute, if you walk for 30 minutes in the morning at a decent pace, we're talking like 3 to 3.5 miles per hour. If you were to measure this on like a treadmill, depending upon where you live, if you live near a gym or in a place where you can walk all the time, 7 days a week, all right, cool. Well, that's 175 calories. 175 calories. Oops, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I should just use my keyboard. 175 calories a morning. If you walk for 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes. We could go an hour, but I know people kind of maybe have, I don't know, life to deal with. So we'll just go with 175. All right, maybe on the weekends you can go and hit the treadmill for a solid hour or walk for a solid hour and get closer to that 300 to 400 calories per morning. But let me continue here. 175 calories every single morning. If you times that by 7 days a week, you're at 1,200 calories. It's pretty good. That's about a quarter of a pound. A little more than a quarter of a pound of body fat. So we're getting somewhere. So if you times that, that's per 1 week. You times that by 4, we're at 4,900 calories. Boom. Another solid pound of body fat. So we've burned more than. So there you go right there. So that's, if you do that every single week, that's 1 pound of body fat with an additional 600 calories. And then the coffee you add on top of that is another 0.7 pounds of body fat. So we're here between the 0.7 and then you add on the 4,900, which is, let's see, what was that number? 110? So you're almost at 2 pounds of solid body fat per month when you add in the 30 minutes of walking in the morning before you have your coffee. Just 30 minutes, 2 pounds of body fat. So if you do 2 pounds of body fat every single month, you do 2 times 12. Is it 2 times 12? No, sorry, it's 2 times. I just showed it to you. I'm sorry. 24 pounds. We're getting somewhere here. 2 pounds of body fat over 12 months with the reduction in your coffee. So we're at 24 pounds of body fat lost in basically 1 year. This is the math. This is the math, because ultimately, now, are you going to start out slow? Yes, relatively, because your body has to get almost like, it's like a locomotive. You have to get it going in order for you to rev that engine up to the point where your body actually knows how to burn body fat. Your body knows how to store it. Most bodies, unless you have like Graves' disease, I think it's called Graves' disease, which most people don't, because unless you have like an issue like that, or you're hyperglycemic? It's one of those. You have hypo and hyper, and the hyper, like, you burn, you're overactive and you're rail thin. But like I said, we're extremes here. We're not dealing with the hypers, we're not dealing with the hypos. We're dealing with your standard. And at this point, if we're burning 24 pounds just from 30 minutes of walking and cutting down your coffee calories, we're now at 24 pounds for the year. 24 pounds, if you're a 165 pound fat fuck chick and you want to get back down to 140, that's your number. 1 year, boom, we're done. All right, so that's 1 pound of body fat that you can burn, 2 pounds of body fat you can burn every single month just from adding on a 30-minute walk and reduction in coffee and saving yourself $1,200 a year. Okay? Now you do 1,200, let's just do, for fuck's sake, you do $1,200 a year times 10 years, you now got $12,000. This is before dividend payouts, reoccurrings, stock value accumulation, all that stuff. But that's $12,000. $12,000 over, what, 10 years? I mean, that's, first of all, over 5 years, you can get yourself a decent car every 5 years. Every 5 years, $6,000. You could drive a car for 5 years, depending on your average drive is around like 10 to 15,000 miles. You can get a car every 5 years, and that will pay for your commuter over 10 years of just doing that. Saving coffee, shit coffee out the window gets you a decent car that you don't have a car payment on. You can lower your insurance rates on. That's a cool thing. See what I'm getting at? And this is less stress because you can get it. Like I said, you can get all kinds of cars for that amount of money. And if gas prices are high, you can get yourself a really efficient car like a Ford Focus, a Ford Taurus, or a Honda Civic or something like that. Honda Civics are a little more expensive. The mileage is higher. But generally, you can get yourself a decent car with low miles that you can drive for 5 years, sell it, use that extra money to do whatever, and then you have another $6,000 from that coffee, and then you buy yourself another car. Am I making sense here? I'm just a regular Joe Schmo. Remember, I'm not qualified in anything. Well, actually, technically, I am qualified in things, but does not pertain to the conversation we're having. All right, but ultimately, I'm dealing with the math and the science that is already out there that has been, for the most part, proven over not only just in a lab, but on the stage, in fitness journals, and everything. There is a hardware and software proponent to this that actually does check out if you follow these protocols. We haven't even gotten to the food yet. And like I said, if you're walking on a treadmill, you can burn between 400 and 500 calories. Now you're talking about some serious weight loss. But we don't want to make this stressful. The idea is you have a fat body and a thin wallet. How do we make your wallet thicker? And how do we make your body thinner? So, by doing that, this is a good start. We've now figured out a way to save you a little bit of money, all right, that you can use towards other things. And on top of that, we're going to help you lose a little bit of weight. And we haven't even left the house yet for your morning whatever. Whether you're going to work, whether you're going to fucking divorce court. I'm not. Relax. Wherever you're going. Your metabolism is moving. You're probably in a better mood because your body is active. Your brain is now active. And you're not stressed because you're just walking. Walking is not stressful. I gotta be careful what I say, because if I say the word like going for a walk, my dog will lose his fucking mind. So I gotta be careful. This is the only thing I censor on this podcast is that word walk. If he hears me, I won't censor it to you guys. I won't bleep it out. But ultimately, if he hears it, he'll lose his mind because he's like, I get to go do stuff. So there we are. I've now just talked for 28 minutes just about coffee and 30 minutes. So let's get to some stuff. We haven't talked about groceries yet. All right. Also, if you're on a treadmill, if you add incline, that will help increase caloric burn. I made this really cool. You're at a grocery store. I know this looks like a fucking football field, but stick with me on this. This is your average grocery store. You can obviously walk all the way around, and then you got your aisles. This is most grocery stores. This is Publix. This is Market Basket. This is Hannaford's. This is McKinnon's. This is probably Kroger and White Lion. White Lion? Aren't they dead? Food Lion. There we go. This is most of them. Now, what's the other one? What's the one that Whole Foods? First off, fuck Whole Foods. We're not, like I said, that's the extreme. Trader Joe's and Whole Foods. Those are extremes. They're not necessary to this conversation. They're not necessary at all. Okay? So, we want to help you save money and lose weight at the same time. Going to Whole Foods and going to Trader Joe's is not going to make you any healthier, and it's not going to make you any richer. It's not, okay? It isn't. This whole organic thing, everything's certified organic. No, bullshit. All right? The organic stuff, the organic pesticides, that's just going to kill you too. All right, they just had a study that like Driscoll's, who is one of the largest producers in the United States for fucking blueberries and raspberries and strawberries. Apparently, it's giving everybody cancer. Giving everybody cancer. So guess what? It's bullshit. Let's deal with the facts at hand. You're 40 to 50 pounds over fucking weight. You're broke as shit. This is reality. You can't afford to shop at Whole Foods, and you're not going to get any benefit from doing so. All right, so don't even buy. And Trader Joe's is not a grocery store. All right, it's not. It's a fucking. It's just not. It's got food in it. It's got food things in it, but it's not. It's not the place you go. Trader Joe's is like, oh, look at these fancy fucking peanuts. I don't need fancy fucking peanuts. I need to stop having a gut and a fat ass. That's the plan here. We don't need to go to Trader Joe's. All right. And you don't need to go to Whole Foods because we're trying to save you money here. All right. So Jeff Bezos' yacht is fucking big enough. All right. We're talking about you, your average American who is 40 to 50 pounds overweight and potentially on their way to type 2 diabetes. So we're trying to save you money here. I guarantee if you go and shop at a regular grocery store instead of Whole Foods, I mean, what? You're going to save yourself, what, at least $50? Probably at least $50 by just changing it up and going to a regular ass peasant grocery store that has organic options as well. But let's face it, this organic thing has been taken over. It's like watching white moms do hip hop dance. It's like you didn't invent that. You're gentrifying it. It's bullshit. And now you're charging people for it. So give me a break. It's not, it's pointless. You don't need to go there. You don't need to spend that money. Save that $50. Save that $50. You go every single week. On an average, I go to the grocery store once a week. All right. Maybe twice, depending upon my mood. And save that $50. You do $50 times 4. You're going to do, that's $200 a month. 2 times 12 is $2,400. $2,200? 24. I don't know. Let's find out. If you're saving yourself, if you're not going to fucking Whole Foods, let's do this. $50 a week from just buying that bullshit times 4. That's $200 times 12. $2,400 for the year. $2,400 for a year. All right. We want to be healthy, but we also want to be wealthy. So stop fucking shopping at Whole Foods and don't even bother going to Trader Joe's because it's not really a grocery store. It's like Pringles is not really a potato chip. It's delicious and they got amazing flavors, but it's not real. It's not an actual potato chip. It is a processed crisp that originated from a potato. Okay? It's like me. I originated from my mother, and then I turned into a full-blown retard for a while. But now, here I am, a fully grown, somewhat mature adult male in his early 40s. So there you go. This is what I've become. I am a Pringle. I look good. I present well. I got a decent flavor to me. But I've been processed a little bit over the years, so I'm a little scrambled up. You know what I'm saying? So don't eat too much of me. Take me in moderation. Should have a sip of this here, man. I'm a little parched. Ooh, that tastes good. And I'm a man of my word. I'm having an iced coffee with a little bit of Chobani cream in it. This morning, I had tea. Plain ass, boring, ginger, peach, turmeric tea. Herbal, no caffeine in it, and I feel great. Did I walk this morning? Yeah. Went on the treadmill, 6.5 degree incline for 60 minutes at 3.5 miles per hour. It says on the treadmill that I burned like 575 calories. I don't know if that's real or not. All I know is it's working out for me. And then when I got home, Chase and I went for a stroll. All right. How long was that? Probably burned another 75 to 100 calories. It felt good. Felt good. Now, where are we? We've already talked about the 1 pound of body fat, how much that weighs. We've already talked about your morning routine, how much that burns, how much that saves. We talked about changing your grocery store. This it's organic. Organic is, like I said, it's bullshit. We talked about that. We're in agreement. Let's move on to the next thing. All right. We've talked about, how 1 month, 30 minutes, 7 days, 1,400 calories. 1 month, 60 minutes over 7 days equals 9,800 calories. Now, eating out if you're eating out, all right, first off, your average price of eating out, let's say you do it once a week. You eat out once a week. If you're eating out once a week, like you go and you order food and you bring it back, you're easily probably $40 deep. Whether it's Chinese food or Domino's. Oh, but they got the 2-for-1 special. It's like, shut the fuck up, okay? We're dealing with the average takeout right now. The average takeout is somewhere between $30 and $40 per instance. If you're eating in, you're dining in, now we're between, with tip, you motherfuckers better tip. If it's a good server, all right, you're not Mr. Pink. Leave some money on the counter. You're now at between $60 and $80. So if you're at $40 for grabbing your Domino's or grabbing your Chinese food every single week, all right, and you bring that home, 40 times 4, it's $160 a month, times 12, it's $1,900 a year. You eat out once a week, times that by 2. So that's $3,800 a year. So I want to save you that money. Now, if you're in a relationship or something, going out once a month is not a bad thing. If you're, depending upon your situation and stuff. But let's say we're trying to crack down here. We want to save a little bit of money and we want to reduce those calories. All right. Well, first of all, let's start with the reducing the calories. And I got 2 options. I got 2 things for you. All right. Start off with the obvious. Domino's pizza, you fat shit. 3 slices of Domino's pizza is 108 grams of carbs. Unless you're deadlifting for 2 fucking hours, you don't need 108 grams of carbs. You don't. All right? And that's also 30 grams of fat, which you don't need, and the source of this fat as well. Okay? So there's that to account. Forget about the protein. We're not even talking about, it's got protein too. Okay. Good luck to you, pal. All right? So, yeah, what kind of protein is that? Fucking same stuff that is in dog biscuits. Let's make it even more ridiculous. Chipotle burrito. Are we gonna go out for lunch? Okay, we'll go out for lunch. 1 Chipotle burrito. I have it pulled up right here. Actual Chipotle. Let's see. Where is it? Chipotle. Nutritional information. And this is how I added it up. I want to go through each line item with you. Just the tortilla alone. Just the tortilla alone is 320 calories. And then your argument's going to be, well, I get the bowl. I get the Chipotle bowl. Oh, okay, so you just take that 320 calories and that 50 grams of carbs, 50 grams of carbs, and you just turn it into rice. It's the same fucking thing. It's the same thing. Okay? The same fucking thing. You're still going to get a shitload of fat, a shitload of carbs, and a shitload of calories. So it makes no fucking difference to me whether you could roll it up and shove it in your ass, or if you have to like smush it together into a ball and shove it up your ass. You're still gonna be a fucking fat ass. So we start with the tortilla, okay? And then we add on chicken. Normal chicken. Just normal chicken. 180 calories. Chicken's good. 32 grams of protein, 7 grams of fat. We're off to the races. Cool. Chicken's good. The only problem is we're at 500 calories already. 500 calories already. All right, these are all the other food options, but we scroll down. Okay, what do you want in there? White rice. Light white rice. I didn't go with the normal, but that's 105 calories right there with 20 grams of carbs. All right? So I'm just making a regular ass, basic bitch burrito. Move on. Black beans. 130 calories. And I put normal, by the way. 130 calories. Not a lot of fat. Decent amount of fiber, 22 grams of carbs. Okay, so now we're just piling it on a little bit. Top things off. Guacamole. You want guacamole? 22 grams of carbs. Or excuse me, 22 grams of fat. So you have fat and carbs. Generally, when you put those two together, you're in for a world of hurt. Especially in the bathroom. And you add on a few more grams of carbs. Great. That's normal. If you add it on as a side, drops down to 900 calories. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's a decent substitute. But the fact is we're still at the fucking G marker here. Sour cream. Light. I mean, honestly, what's a burrito without sour cream? Let's be honest with you here. But we are adding on. Light sour cream is 55 calories. Normal sour cream, 110. But light sour cream, 55. You can barely taste sour cream at light. But we're going to leave it at light. You're still adding on 55 calories and 5 grams of fat. All right. Normal cheese, 110 calories, more fat, and there you are. That's for one standard burrito, a little light on a couple things, is 1,130 calories. Your average chick generally can take in, to maintain body type, is between like 15 and 1,800 calories. Probably even less. You're already screwing the pooch with one fucking lunch burrito. That means you're not eating in the morning, and that means you're not eating at night unless it's a scoop of fucking peanut butter or like a chicken salad. That's it. But you're at 54 grams of fat and 102 grams of carbs. 102 grams of carbs. And you only got 59 grams of protein. Your general skeletal muscle is more than that. How are you going to support your body? You're going to have to really, really go out of your way in the morning and at night to make sure that you are very focused on your macros of eating a lot of eggs or egg whites or fish or whatever. And it takes a lot of work to support the fact that you're ingesting that burrito 5 days a week or even once a week. All right. And that's not cheap either. That shit's not cheap to get like a fucking burrito. I mean, add to the bag. I have no idea. How much does that shit cost? Let's find out. 03801. Let's just do Stratum. Fuck it. And let's just see here. Yeah, Portsmouth Ave. Yeah, fine. Whatever. Pick up here. How much does that shit cost? Let's just put meal number J. Here we go. Save. $12.90. $12.90. So if you eat out every single day, that's okay. $12.90. Good Lord. So do you eat out every single week? You're at 1,100 calories. Do you eat out every single week? Now, your average McDonald's meal, Burger King, Wendy's, Del Taco, Jack in the Box, fucking Whataburger, Smash Burger. You're at this point, you're at between 10 and 15 bucks. But we're just going to do one burrito. And you eat out 5 times a week? My God, dude. Like I said, $12.90 times 5 days a week. You're at $64 a week. Times 4, you're at $250 a month. Times 12, you're at $3,000 a year. $3,096 to be precise, just from one burrito 5 days a week. You stop that, you're going to save yourself 1,100 calories a day. You can add in a little more flexibility in your food diet, save yourself $3,000. You can do that. Did I do the calculations for if you're eating out every single week? So let's just do $65, depending upon where you go. You times that by once a week. So that's 4 times a month. $260 times 12. You're at $3,100. So if you divide that by 3. Let's divide that by 3. Right? 4 times a week. No, let's divide it by 4. So $3,100 a year. So $780 divided. So you can, if you want to like go out on a date like once a month or eat out once a month, all right, then you can cut down significantly on the amount of money you're spending and the amount of shit that you're ingesting. So you can still continue to lose a ton of fat, a lot of body mass, without having to go the semi-glutide route or ingesting yourself with shit or anything like that. Save yourself a ton of money, hundreds if not thousands of dollars a year, and continue to lose significant weight, because your body sometimes like to have a reset. Sometimes like once a month, your body needs to have like a punch to the gut, pardon the pun, ultimately, of the food that it takes in if it gets the normal eggs and protein and fish and chicken and beef, pork, and the lettuce and the tomato and the guac, the avocado and the almond butter and the almonds and all that shit. You're eating pretty good. You do it once a month. You have like a cheat meal per se, or a refeed meal like once a month. Actually can make a difference. Can reset your glycogen levels. But ultimately, your goal in the very, very beginning is to start from scratch. You got to start walking because it's less stressful. First of all, you go to order your coffee in the morning. They're going to fuck it up. So make it yourself, okay? You fuck it up, it's on you. On top of that, you have to reduce your glycogen storages. You have to reduce how much, remember, how much glycogen or glucose can your body store inside the muscle bellies before it starts to spill out? All right? And people overdo it all the time. It's like when I see people like eating rice cakes at work. which is a common thing. I'm trying to eat healthy, so I keep rice cakes at work. You don't just eat one rice cake, though. I know a girl, she was a beautiful girl. She was really, really sweet. Anxiety problems, though. And I would just see her sitting at her desk, just rice cake, rice cake, rice cake, rice cake. And, you know, you can get the flavored ones, and then they start adding sugar in there and extra salt. And then you see people putting, oh, I just put a little bit of jam on there or peanut butter. It's like, oh, here we go. We took a fucking, what? How much is a rice cake in calories? Let's see, average rice cake, rice cake calories. 100 grams. No. Is it really? Holy shit. Can't be. 35 calories per serving. Yeah. Per serving, which is what? One rice cake? Nutritional info. There we go. Click on that. One cake. One cake is 35 calories. And it has... Oh, come on. Show the carbohydrates. Show the carbohydrates. 7 grams. All right. That's one rice cake. Usually they eat like 2 or 3, and then they put a little jam or they put a little fucking peanut butter on there. Now with that peanut butter, we're well over. You're at 100 calories. You're at how many calories? 35. You add on a scoop of peanut butter. All right, so now we're at like 100 and about 100 right there. So now we're at 135 calories. And then to mention the extra carbohydrates, and you're generally having like 2. So now you have 270 grams of carbs. Almost no protein, and of fat. So you have fats and carbs, almost no proteins. Cool. So just stuffing those rice cakes, you think you're making a legit difference. You're not. You're not. It's like people say, I eat oatmeal every morning. What, the packet ones with the brown sugar in it? Sure, good luck to you on that one. Come on, get the fuck out of here. So rice cakes aren't going to do it. Now, can they make a difference in your diet if you're like you're sparsing it out and you're a little more detailed with what you're taking in? Yeah, of course. But normally it's just I just see, you know, these people that just gorge on this stuff because it's like I need something in front of me. I need to be putting something in my mouth like a fucking smoker when they quit. They need to eat. They need to satiate with something. Now, so don't waste your money on these rice cakes. There's not a lot. Now, rice cakes aren't expensive, but I mean, it can add up because if you're eating them every single day, you got to buy more. And this is an actual, yeah, so we'll leave it at that. Not a huge money difference, but it is there. But ultimately, the calories is what I'm concerned about, and how people consume them is what I'm concerned about. So we've already saved you a ton of money on the Chipotle, and we've saved you a ton of fat assery with the Chipotle. So now we're going to move on to alcohol. Oh, look the fuck out. Alcohol is one of those things. Alcohol, can it be cheap? Yeah, but it's not. What are you doing? Drinking barefoot? I'm drinking barefoot. It's inexpensive. Tastes like shit. It's shit wine. It's shit wine. All right, and the price of beer is not cheap right now. And the price of like your standard bottle of alcohol, like vodka or whatever, if it's decent alcohol, like Stoli or fucking Smirnoff or Tito's. I mean, first of all, you're beating your body up. First off, but you're spending money on top of it. If you're going out to drinks, if you're going out for drinks, yeah, you take that $40 to $70 and just chalk it up to like $50 to $100. All right, your average drink is the same price as some of your average meals, and in some cases more. Like you go and see a meal, oh, it's only $14.99 for the burger. Okay, well, it's about $13 to $15 for that fucking fancy ass drink with all the sugar and bullshit in it. Now, on top of that, consuming alcohol is like, it's like a supercar. Your body, imagine your body's a supercar, and guess what? Now you got speed bumps. You got to go from fucking 60 miles an hour down to like 2, because now you got to get that supercar over that bump without scratching the shit out of your car, the undercarriage of your car. That's what an alcohol does. It slows down your progress significantly. There are studies that say alcohol slows or stops the caloric burning body fat and like that, about 8 hours. There are other studies that say this can stop or limit the amount of body fat that you burn, or the amount of calories that you burn, your primary source of calories that you need to burn, for up to 36 hours, depending upon how much you drink. Okay? So like an entire day and a half is gone. Like you can make no progress. If you drink weekly, I'm not talking about daily, I'm talking about weekly. So if you do that 4 times a week, how much progress are you losing? Let's just say you're burning 0.25, half a pound of body fat per week. Half a pound. Which is reality. I mean, if you drink every single week, you could potentially lose almost, if not all, of that body fat. As far as the progress of losing it. Plus the amount of money you're spending. So knock it off with the alcohol. If you want to drink. What did I put down for my notes? Maybe once a month? Maybe once a month, because this will at least, if you are not drinking alcohol for 3 straight weeks and you are on the treadmill or walking 30 minutes a day, every single day, with your new coffee intake, with ditching the Chipotle, with the new diet on top of that, and I'll add even another component on top of that. You drink once a month. Maybe you have a couple drinks with some friends. You have a bottle of wine at home. It's probably like 72 hours, 36 hours, 48 hours, whatever. In a few days, you're over it. Your body's back to normal. The amount of and any damage that alcohol did to you, I mean, for the most part, gone, over with. You're still leaning. Your body still knows how to move along like a locomotive. That car is moving. But alcohol can be destructive. It can be destructive. It can be expensive. So if you're drinking at home, you can get yourself a decent bottle of wine, like maybe some St. Francis Cabernet, like $13 to $15. Okay, very good bottle of wine in my opinion. And it comes in Pinot Noir, it comes in Cabernet, it comes in Merlot. It's very good. Say $20. You take it, you throw it in your wine rack, and you leave it there. And you maybe have some once a month. Curmudgeon, great wine as well. That's a blend though. But if you're drinking every single week, now you say that $20 of wine, $20 times 4, it's $80 a month times 12, $960, almost $1,000 a year. All right, you divide that by 4. Oops, that was times 4. 960 divided by 4, $240. Okay, so instead of spending almost $1,000 a year on alcohol, you can spend maybe $240. $240. Get yourself a bottle of wine. You can share it with a friend of yours or your other person in your life, and there you go. Nice bottle of wine on a Saturday night in front of the in front of your little your little fire thingy with the permit, and then you sit on your back patio. You share a couple glasses of wine together. There you go. You're good. $240 for the year. Take the rest of that money. Go pay your Visible bill. My Visible bill is $20 a month for my cell phone. So you take the rest of that money, that pays for your entire cell phone bill for the year. Well, let me double check that. $20 a month times 12 months, $240. So shit, you could pay for your cell phone bill, and you could pay for your internet. You can pay for your internet too. Right now, my internet's nothing. It's like $25 because I have this decent fiber plan. But ultimately, yeah, you're saving money there. Or on top of that, you could be putting that money into your gas tank, because we all know right now that is a major factor here. So these are ways to cut your fatty fat, and to thicken your wallet, or to reallocate those funds that were leaving your wallet. All right, or maybe you're in debt. All this money that you're now saving by not going to the doctor, by not spending it on bullshit organic shit, by leaving Whole Foods and going and shopping at a regular blue-collar grocery store, not spending all this money on alcohol, not spending this money on going out to eat. You're now saving all this money, and you're saving a whole ton of calories. You're not having to go to the doctor's office because you're not a fat fuck anymore. This will help you save money and your wallet as well. Save money and save your gut as well. So your average meal is about 400 calories. Oh, let's add on one more thing. Your workout. Let's go with average meals first. So if your average meal should be around 400 calories. So we already looked at, where's Chipotle here? Chipotle Where is that fucking thing? Oh, did I get rid of it? There it is. Okay, boom. Okay. So, included ingredients. Let's just go with chicken. 830 calories. So, 180 calories for chicken. For ultimately, you're around like 150 to 200 calories for chicken. So, you do 32 grams of protein, 7 grams of fat. But ultimately, you need to have something else in there. So, you can't just have chicken. All right. We're not going to play that carnivore game. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad idea. It's one way to do things. There we go. Let's just do that. Okay. So, you got to add on something. You got to add like maybe a little bit of rice or a little bit of vegetables, but ultimately you want like a 400 calorie meal. You eat 4 of those a day. If you're a lady, you do 400 calories a meal, and you have like maybe 4 a day. If you have 4 meals a day, if you can do 4 meals a day, great. If it's 3, all right, fine. But look at it this way. Let's just say we're doing 4 meals a day. 1 in the morning. All right, this includes your coffee because you can have a lighter meal, but ultimately your coffee is now only down to like 25 calories. So we've almost eliminated that as a concern. But now we've got 4 meals in you. You do 400 calories a meal times 4 meals a day. We're at 1,600 calories. We're in the win column right now because we've already talked about, screw it, I'm going to add on 25 calories for that coffee. I'm serious. I'm not playing the games. We're 1,625 calories, but you've already burned 300 calories from your walk this morning. Ooh, boy. So we'll do minus 300 calories. We're at 1,325 calories. 1,325 calories. That's for 4 meals. 4. You're now in weight loss territory for a chick. Now for a guy, you want to have more like a 5,000 calorie meal a daily. So no, it's not 5,000, 500. So if your caloric intake is 500 calories, just do times 4. Here we go. Boom, we're at 2,000. We'll add on the calories for the coffee. We're at 2,025 calories. All right, but we've already burned 300, so we'll minus 300. We're at 1,725. Oh, hi, handsome. How are you? We're at 1,725 calories. We haven't even gotten to the workout yet. So both of these markers, the 1,325 for the lady and 1,725 for the dude, we're already in weight loss territory. So adjusting your calories up, but the reason we would be adjusting our calories up is because we haven't even taken into account the fact that you need to work out. So if we're working out, let's just say 3 times a week. 3 times a week, light intensity exercising, light intensity workouts. We're talking 300 calories right there. Light intensity for 60 minutes. Your body's moving. Your bench press, your deadlift. Well, not even your deadlift, but just doing shit in the gym that is not cardio or intense. It's all stress. It's all without any stress. Just going in there and moving the weights, doing it solid for 60 minutes. And then you leave. Light intensity. You're going to burn 300 calories right there. So now we minus another 300 calories off the top of that. So minus 300 calories. We're at 1,425. But if we were at a ladies, 1,425 for a male is a bit steep. So if we're at 1,325 for the ladies and you minus 300 calories on that, we're at 1,000 calories. So can you afford to eat more? And the answer is yes, you can. Yes, you can. Absolutely. This is important to know. It's amazing. You can eat 4 times a day, 4 solid meals, and still lose a ton of weight. Now, you've already burned because before you had any food in the morning, you've already had. The hell's going on? Chase, come here. Silly dog. before we... Yeah, we've already burned body fat in the morning because we've already done our fasted workout, which is basically... and when I say fasted workout, I'm just talking cardio only. A nice relaxing walk. You've burned 300 calories. You're good. You've already burned that now. You're done. You're good. So now you move on with your day. You have your coffee. You go and you eat. All that stuff. You're still in a caloric deficit for the day because every hour you're burning between 40 and 80 calories depending upon what you're doing. And then you go and work out. You've already had 1, 2, maybe 3 meals per the day. You go and work out. You're back in a caloric deficit. And then you eat one more meal. That's 4, maybe 5, 600 calories because maybe 1,000 calories at the end of the day is not enough from the fasted cardio and from the lifting weights. You still need more. So if you want to eat a little more at night, you want to bump it up to between 500 and 800 calories because you're still losing weight. You can do that. But you have to gauge it somewhere. You have to start with, all right, I'm going to eat this type of food between 400 and 500 calories. I'm going to do this in the morning. I'm going to change my coffee. And at the end of the day, I will reward myself with a more calorically dense meal. Now, you're not going to overdo it and stuff your face. But if you are eating like an egg omelet at night that's filled with chicken and something, or you're just having a fuller meal that's heavier, you're still going to be, and say you add on another 300 calories plus 300 calories back on, and you're at 1325 for a chick, and you had a heavier meal at night that was 700-800 calories, you're still in really good spot where you're going to wake up the next day in a caloric deficit and continue the same pattern over again. Now, a guy, same thing. That's the same thing, but that's only if you're working out 3 days a week. We're not talking about, we already talked about the morning cardio thing. That's every single day, 7 days a week, walking for 30 minutes only. 30 minutes only at a brisk pace, at a decent pace. 3.5 miles per hour. But you work out 3 times a week, you can tack on another 900 calories to that deficit weekly. So you can, on top of that, 900 calories times a week times 4, you're at 3,600 calories a month. That's another pound of body fat. You see what I'm getting at here? Like these are very simple methods to reduce. Now, let's say if you're doing, we've already talked about, if you follow this methodology, okay? Because I don't like to talk about recipes. Recipes is what a nutritionist gives you, okay? Or what you look at in a baking cookbook. All right, we're talking about a method to success. A method means you can change things up with it, but it stays within the range of the desired outcome. That's what that is. And that's the goal that most people can understand. If I do this, this, and this, and I stick within reason to these guidelines, I will see a net result, rough to, that what equals this. Now, if you're burning 4,900 calories a month, like I said, 4,900 calories a month just from doing 30 minutes over 7 days, and you times that by 12 divided by 4,000 calories, you're at 14.7 pounds for the year. Now, this varies greatly depending upon your nutrition plan, but if you lose 15 pounds of pure body fat, if you're 180 pounds if you're a chick, or if you're 230 pounds if you're a dude, you go from 230 down to 215, noticeable difference. You go from 180 as a chick down to 165, very noticeable. Now you're a thick girl. But you're not fat, you're just thick. And if you're a dude, you can start fitting into some normal people clothes again. You don't have to shop at Big and Tall anymore. But if you times that by 2, you times that shit by 2, and you start ramping it up even more, but just by doing morning cardio for another hour, stick to the same plan, you're at 29 pounds of body fat. So if you're a 180-pound girl, you're now down, so 180 minus 30, you're at 150 pounds. Now you're really going to see a difference. But this is over 1 year. It does take time to ramp up to this. But if you stay focused on it, you can do it. So $150, and now the money that I've saved you on top of that, We'll put that all together. So for 1 year, if you ramp it up from instead of 30 minutes to 60 minutes and you increase your afternoon workouts instead of like 3 times a week, you go 4 times a week, you can lose between 20 and 30 pounds in 1 year. Now you save yourself thousands of dollars of doctor's office type stuff. So let's break it down here. The goal of the male is to be under 210 pounds. Ideally, if you're a guy like me, you want to be around like 175 to 180. I want to be around 175 because I know that's where my moneymaker is. That's my number. At 6 feet, with my body type, my build, everything like that, that's where I want to be. And your average 5'5", 5'6" girl wants to be around the 130s to 140s. That's where you need to be. All right? If you want to fit into a bathing suit and not look like a fucking whale, that's where you need to be. Okay? Now, money-wise. Money-wise is the other factor here. If you stop shopping at Home Goods, $50 times 4, $200 times 12, that's $2,400. All right? So $2,400. You don't shop at Home Goods or Home Foods and Trader Joe's anymore. Home Goods. Oh my God. All right. On top of that, so $2,400. Did I just lose all my ink in my pen? I think I did. Motherfucker. Fuck it. $2,400 just from saving money not from Home Goods. And then on top of that, you have the coffee, which is what, $5 a week? $5 a week times, no, $5 a day times 5, $25 a week times 4, it's $100. Holy shit, that's expensive. Times 12. $1,200 plus $2,400, $2,400 from not going to Home Goods anymore. You're now at $3,600. Now, what else do we got here? You got that if you're not eating out every single week, all right, we do it. That's what? So we're at $3,600. We'll do $50. An average of whether you eat in or take out. We'll average it together. $50 times 3, because I want you to eat out at least once. Eat out or take out, whatever. Once a month at least. You know, I'm not a complete asshole. We'll do 3 times. That's 150 times 12, 1,800 plus. 1,800. 1,800 plus 3,600. $5,400 a year. And if you're drinking every single week, all right, that's another $20 times 3. This is just for a regular ass bottle of wine that you eat on the way. I mean, obviously, if you go out, that's different. That's a whole, like I said, that's the extreme. $20 times 3, $60 times 12, $720 plus $5,400. We're at $6,120. So I just helped you lose 30 pounds of fucking body fat. And I helped you save $6,100 a fucking year. Please, for the love of God, somebody tell me that I'm wrong. All right? I'm not a certified in any of this stuff, but I'm telling you right now, these are the real numbers, the real facts. This is the those were real calories from real studies, real conclusions of and non-stressful workout routines, and you change all these things if you're shopping it. And the only wild card I put in there, really, honestly, was if you shopped at Whole Foods. That was the only wild card I put in there, was if you're shopping at Whole Foods. But we're talking $5,000 to $6,000 a year you can save depending upon how you shop. Now, another thing, like I'll just finish up with with your strategy when you go to the grocery store. When you go to the grocery store, you walk in through the main entrance. You got all those cash registers. You got all those cash registers, and you got all those aisles. Your goal is to avoid all of them. So, I'll give an example. If you walk into one grocery store, Market Basket. If you walk to the left, generally there's like a dairy aisle. It's got yogurt, milk, cheese, butter. Your goal, you follow the blue line. Follow the blue line, which takes you to the outskirts. The blue line is important because that keeps you, for the most part, safe. When you start with the entrance/exit and you go left, that takes you to the eggs. Eggs right now for me, for 18, and forget about this whole, the organic ones. Forget it. They already, the Vital Farms, that was all bullshit. You're paying fucking $7 for a dozen eggs. $7 for a dozen eggs. It turns out they were bullshit eggs. They were bullshit eggs. So fuck it. Just get the cheap ones in the bottom there. For now, okay? We're trying to get you to the point where you don't die. Just trying to get you to the point where you don't fucking die. So we start with an 18 cart and 18 eggs, $1.49 right now. I buy like 6 cartons of fucking eggs. So I got all these eggs. Egg salad, boiled eggs, fucking regular omelets. Mix them in with, if you're trying to make like a Chinese food with some soy sauce or whatever, throw in some eggs. You make a protein shake with some eggs. Hell, you can make like a flapjack fucking pancake. Add some eggs, add some bananas, a little bit of starch. You mix that up, fry it in a pan. You get like a really thin pancake. Tastes kind of good. Drizzle a little honey on it or something. I'm just saying, you get more options with eggs than you do anything else. Now, if you make a soup, you drop an egg in there. Boom, protein, salt. You're good. Let's go. You stay on that blue line. Maybe you grab yourself some yogurt because your body is okay with that. But either way, you stay in that blue line because you're still in the cold section of the store. You go up, and this grocery store, there's some deli meats. Then there's like the fish and all that stuff. Okay, you can still fuck up over with the deli meats. Deli meats will still fuck you up, but it is a path towards. It will help you on your path if you want some like turkey or roast beef or something. You can still. There you go. You're okay. But keep it moving. Don't go down those aisles. You continue on. Over in the back area, you have your actual meat. Okay, cool. You get your meat, your poultry, your chicken, your pork, whatever. All right, you're staying there. Every once in a while, you see a pretty good deal on meat. Not always, but pretty good. You take advantage of it when you can, and you snap it all. And forget about waiting for anybody else to come by and look at stuff. It's yours. You're there. They're not. Fuck them. Take it all. And grab it all, throw it in your basket, and walk out. Pay for it first, of course. Get all that food. You see some reduced produce? You know, some places have they put bananas there, and it's like 59 cents, or heads of broccoli. Perfect. It's still in the circle of blue. You're okay in that blue circle. You haven't walked down any of the aisles yet. In most cases, you shouldn't. And you continue on. At the very end, maybe you got some. If they don't have any good produce, all right, you go to at least on in this instance of this grocery store, the frozen vegetables are at the end. Frozen vegetables are great. Frozen carrots, fucking frozen spinach, but ultimately frozen carrots, frozen broccoli. There's a lot of good. As long as it's not a starch-based vegetable, grab it. Okay? You throw it in the freezer. It's perfect for whatever. You can mix it up. You can heat it up. You can fry it. You can bake it. There's a lot of things you can do. You can throw it in a soup. You're good. Now, get the fuck out at that point. You stay in that blue. Stay in that blue line and get out of there. If you are a grocery shopper who starts by going into the aisles, number one, you're fucking yourself because now you're going to add on another $30 to $40 of shit you don't need. That's not healthy for you. All right? And you could do the math on that your own. If you're doing that every single week, $30 to $40 of just dog shit. All right? Times 4, 40, 80, 120, $160 a week. Times that by 4. Fuck it. I'll do the math for you. If you're going in the aisles, you're spending money on bullshit, guarantee it's going to rack up quickly. You'll be surprised. 40 times 4, equals 160 times 12, $2,000. $1,920 to be exact. So you get rid of that shit. You stop going down the fucking aisles because there's a lot of shit in there you don't need. Well, honestly, what could you need in the aisles? Well, you could need olive oil. Olive oil is decent. You don't need that all the time, though. The thing is, the shit that's in these aisles, you don't need every single week. You get them when you maybe run low or run out. Olive oil is one of them. Okay? Tea is another. If you like herbal tea or coffee, these are reasons you'd go into the aisles for. All right? But all the other stuff that's in cartons and containers and cereal and, you fucking powdered mashed potatoes, you don't need any of that shit. None of that. You don't need any of that stuff. Stop fucking kidding yourself. Maybe get yourself some canned tuna. Maybe that's okay weekly. That's not bad. That's not bad. But I'm saying, you stay on the outsides here. I made this on the fly. You stay on the outside. The yellow circles tell you, hey, don't go too far in. Don't go too far into the abyss because you'll never be able to get out. Those red lines means you're fucked. You're in there. Now you're going to get basically locked up in, oh, look at these shiny fucking picture boxes with all this stuff. Oh, whole grain oats. And, oh, I should get that. Oh, for the kids. Oh, nah. Oh, the boxes of macro. I should grab those just in case. Okay. Yeah. See what I'm saying? You don't need that shit. You actually don't need that shit. Financially and physically, you don't need it. So, by staying out of the aisles, you'll probably save yourself a couple pounds of body fat a week. And you'll probably save yourself, I don't know, $30 to $50, $40 a week on average, not going in there. You stay out of those aisles and just do what I presented to you. All right? Oh, I'm out of seasoning. Seasoning's right there. You can grab some on the way out. Oh, I want some barbecue seasoning. Not the barbecue sauce. All right? You ever seen Sweet Baby Ray's? You know how much fucking sugar is in Sweet Baby Ray's? You asshole. And like I said, sauces are not something you need every single week. You want to make egg salad? Cool. You get yourself a little carton of mayonnaise. It'll cost you like $2.99. A little bit of mayo. Mayo, is it good for you? No. But you're only using small portions of it in your egg salad to kind of mix things up and lube it down your stupid throat. These are the things I'm talking to you about. You only get, this is stuff you don't get every single week, and you dabble in it a little bit. And this will help you move towards losing that 20 to 30 pounds in that first year and saving yourself thousands of dollars. So that credit card, gone. That student loan debt, gone. These are things that you can make a significant difference saving. I've helped you save in this podcast to bring it to a close. I've helped you save roughly $5,000 to $7,000 in spending that you can use towards other things, and I've helped you lose 20 to 30 pounds of body fat just by following these simple fucking instructions that are based by multiple studies, multiple facts, all stuff that has been legitimized. You just do the simple basic fourth grader fucking math that I showed you, and you follow this piece of shit paint project that I did, and you'll save yourself a lot of money. You'll save yourself a lot of money. The only real factor that could really ultimately fuck all this up and void all this is if you live in a shitty area. If you live in like a shitty city like New York, Los Angeles, Sacramento, that's where you could go astray. My only advice to you in that case is just fucking move and get out of there. Okay? Go move. I don't care. I don't care if it's North Dakota. I don't give a shit. Move somewhere where you don't have to deal with that crap. We have access to actual things. You can get in, spend your money, get out. You have access to gyms that don't cost you $2 million a year. All right? Follow these instructions. Follow this method. You will feel better day by day. The only thing I left out of this conversation was supplementation. Like things like magnesium, vitamin C, N-acetylcysteine. Okay, that's another conversation for another day that I've already had. And I'm not Andrew Huberman. And I'm not Dr. Rhonda Patrick. I'm not those people. But these methods have value. Significant value. And the things I told you, I guarantee you, if you stay out of Home Goods, not Home Goods, I keep thinking about Home Goods. You stay out of Whole Foods, you're going to save a shit ton of money. You stop getting your coffee out to go, you're going to save yourself a shit ton of money. You stop hunting, you stop going down these middle aisles, you're going to save yourself a shit ton of money. You stop eating out and drinking every single week, you're going to save yourself a ton of money. And ultimately, on top of that, you save yourself thousands of dollars and tens of pounds of body fat. And that is the conclusion to all of this. So please, if you have questions, concerns, or comments, hit me up on my website, positivesarcasm.com. Go to the contact section. You can also hit me up on Instagram at @positive_sarcasm. Or you can just email me directly, positivesarcasm@outlook.com. I know this little colored chart looks like a fucking football field, but there's legitimacy here to that. So burn that into your memory as it fades away. You find me on Spotify, you can find me on iHeartRadio, you can find me on TuneIn, Podcast Addict, anywhere where podcasts are downloadable, including on Substack and downloadable and streamable from my website, positivesarcasm.com. And the video version of this podcast, if you want to see that pretty football picture that had just faded away, you can go ahead to rumble.com, look up Positive Sarcasm Podcast, or still available on YouTube for Positive Sarcasm Podcast. So there you go. There's everything. If you doubt my math, go and look it up yourself. In the meantime, thank you for listening, watching, and subscribing. I'm going to go enjoy the sun. I'll talk to y'all next week too, by the way. Recorded here from the Spare Parts Studio alongside New Hampshire's beautiful seacoast for entertainment purposes only. This has been a Positive Sarcasm presentation.